Baby, I do. Baby, I do. Baby, I do. And for the rest of my life, I wanna spend every night doing whatever you like. And if you say that.
Name something you do consciously and unconsciously to be a better wife. You tell me about. Oh, what I do is I try to make sure, because I feel like I found the soul of my husband's heart is through sex. So I make sure that he has plenty of it. And I make sure that he don't never be wanting for it. I throw it out there even when I don't even feel like it, but I be throwing it out there. So if he want it, guess what? It's there. And that make you happy.
Yeah, that's unconscious, unconsciously.
That's consciously. Unconsciously, I think just being happy and keeping, unconsciously, I think I'm just being a pleasant person. Just be happy and try to have the atmosphere in the house. I think just by me being happy or smiling, not grouchy, I think that just clears the atmosphere, and then I think that, roll over to his side and making him feel better. Because I know when I wake up grouchy, and when he tries to talk to me, and I'm grouchy, then I know that I snapped at him, but I don't call and say, baby, I'm sorry, or whatever. Then I know that's going to be on his mind all day. So I need to call and apologize for that. Right, baby?
Yes, baby.
You being sarcastic?
No. No.
So, your turn.
Consciously, just making sure she have whatever she needs. Just making sure that she know that she's first in my life, beside God. I make sure the room's clean. The house is clean before she get home. Unconsciously, I think this being funny.
Cheers.
Just keeping her.
Funny.
Keeping her in good spirits. I always try to, I know she's not having a good day. I always try to make her laugh, and it just comes natural though. Sometimes I do stuff that it just happens.
The conversation too. I think it could just be us, nobody else. And the conversation we have, I'm talking about, we laughing in there like it's a room full of folk in there. And that just really, I can be happy with just him. I don't need an audience. I don't need, nobody else in the room. We can have our own party. And to me, just that's from, knowing your spouse and just being able to react to their emotions, whether they're up or down, being able to be flexible. And I think, what I think? I don't know. Okay.
So you just got into it. That's it.
Are things like try to iron his uniform for him at night so that when he wakes up in the morning he won't wake up rushing trying to iron a uniform. Even if I'm off work, I still get up early, of course with the kids anyway. But now that the kids are older, I wouldn't have to get up as early, but I still get up early, make him a cup of coffee, sometimes on a good day even breakfast before he goes to work, even though I'm off. I run a lot of errands for Nick, I don't know how he'll make it without me. It's a a good question. How would he make it up?
Things that I do, I try to be really supportive of Keisha's career path. She's looking to do other things in the medical field, so I've been supportive of her over this journey that she's been on. So that kind of entails spending more time with the kids, making sure they kind of get things done. Just making dinner, or whatever it takes, so that she can focus on the things that are important to her. So it's just been about support here lately, as far as conscious things.
I say things consciously I do is I like to open the doors for the vehicle or being in venues. I open the door for her, and unconsciously just I'm a listener, and I just listen to her thoughts. And even sometimes we seem to be neurologically connected, where we'll be thinking the same thought, and then we'll say it sometimes at the same time. Almost like how twins kind of say the words, and we almost kind of read into each other before we even know that the other person's thinking the same thing. So that's kind of a way subconsciously we're kind of connected, and being that oneness, that we see, which is pretty encouraging.
Some things I do consciously. Sometimes I'll take his clothes out, make sure his clothes are out when he's, getting dressed, his food. Sometimes I don't do it all the time, but just making sure that he has what he needs when he's going out, when he's going on sets, etc. Sometimes unconsciously I'm just, just thinking about him. Oh, I wonder what's going on, or and just calling him, just dialing the number. Like, oh, I'm dialing his number. I don't know. Unconsciously, I think after you have that deep connection, I don't even know. I don't know.
You don't even think about it.
I don't even think about it much, and so I guess that's why. I just sometimes just buy stuff. He's like, "Oh, I needed that." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't," That's not really conscious. I just,
Stay together moment while we was dating. This is from my side.
It's his version.
When we were dating, I never cheated on her. I did. I promise. Never. I did. I promise. I put that on everything. And she just broke up with me for no reason. She did. Cause this how she broke up with me for no reason. I even let her keep my car after she broke up with me, and I would walk to work, and she would drive right by my barracks in my car.
It's his version now.
So I wind up sleeping with one of the girls in her barracks. She called me, and we broke.
We weren't married.
And we broke up. So I thought, that was it. Even though I went to Germany, and I was write a letter. She'd write me back, but nothing serious. But one night, I got a phone call late in the night, and it was her. And that threw me. And I flew, as time went on, I flew back and went to Louisiana and got her, and helped her move to Atlanta. That's when I knew that we was gonna be together forever.
That's his version. I let him have that, 'cause that years ago. But I just want to say something about his version. He got some of it right. He got the part right about when I called him when he was in the military, and he went to Germany, and I called him in the middle of the night because I had a dream that he got married, and I woke up like it was real. So I had to find his number, get somebody to locate him because I didn't have his number. And they located him, and I asked him, well, the first thing out of my mouth was, "Are you married?" And he said, "No." "Who told you that?" And I said, "Do you want to be?"
Yeah, you did. You know, just
So he said, "Are you asking me?" And I said, "Well, if you want to marry me, you will be here on such and such a date." Because I was getting out of the military, and he was there early. So that spoke volume for me. But we didn't get married at that time. But my stay together moment, that was his moment. My stay together.
man, you rehashed that.
Yes, yes. My stay together moment was when we were living together, and I was working at Equifax, and I was not coming home, after work. I was hanging out with the girls and, with the single girls and, who didn't have nobody, and going out to drinks, have drinks and this and that, not talking to him, just doing what I wanted to do. Until that day when I came home and he was packed up and he was going to leave me. He was going to, pretty much saying that I didn't need him because I wasn't including him, I wasn't considerate of him, and he had packed his stuff up and yeah, and when we was on Savannah Park, yeah, he had packed up, and that was my stay together moment because when he did that, like I said, I was inconsiderate. I was doing my own thing. I was young, hanging out with the girls after work, not coming home. And when I came home and he had packed and he was serious, I knew that I didn't want him to leave, but I just wanted to be, do what I wanted to do. But that moment changed my action and my ways, my inconsiderateness. Hanging out with the girls, they were saying, "You going for drinks?" No, I got to go home. My man, I didn't want him to leave because I know I loved him, and that would have been the worst thing I could have ever done, was allow him to walk out that door.
I'll say our stay together moment, really outside of committing at the altar, was there was an event actually where we had to make some pretty good quick decisions into going into the marriage, because we were going to go into it anyway. So we had to definitely do that. She's from Jamaica, from here in the United States, and in order to make that process easier than her being here in the United States,
Citizen.
marriage made sense since we're going to do it anyway. So we're like, okay, I've put this off long enough. I guess it was a good time, and really to move forward and have a motivation to move forward too, so that things in the process can be a lot easier in going into marriage. So that was definitely a clear-cut stay together moment, I think, for myself personally.
Mine was initially different, but I guess when he's talking about, we were dating, and so I had finished my master's and I was going to go back and do my PhD. And then, so as an international student, every year after you study, you get a year to work, and then your status will change afterwards, and then you have to renew your status and all that stuff. It's a lot of process, so it's a long process. So when I was going back to do my PhD and I was going home, they couldn't, for some reason, some of my documents I had to go back home. They wanted me to go back home to get some more copies. And so I was like, okay, just too much going on. I'm just going to go back to Jamaica for a little bit and then come back. And at that point, he was like, okay, no, we're going to get married. And that's why we got married. When he said, okay, we're going to get married, we got married in like 2 weeks after that. So I guess that was the stay together moment. He really stepped up, I guess, at the point when he was like, okay, I'm going to lose her maybe if she goes out of this country. I don't know when I'm going to see her. I don't know if I'm going to see her as often. I don't know what is going to happen. So while she's here, might as well, I guess, step it up as a
Absolutely,
man.
yeah, way to make it happen.
I guess that was a stay together moment. Oh, that was good. Yeah, that's when I know that, okay, you know what, Corey, you're doing the right thing. Okay. You're my, this is ride or die, but no, it's just my forever guy.
Sure thing. For men looking to be married, definitely find a wife, Proverbs 31 woman, as they say, someone that's caring, supportive. And for the wife, she doesn't have to worry about finding the husband because he'll find her. But having the idea is to have a man that's there that can treat her the right way, love and respect, as it goes both ways. Going into a marriage, it's good to have, being goal-oriented, just being able to have that type of idea of the kind of spouse you want to have, not underselling yourself, but having the basic core values of, love, being there, because that's one of the most important things really is the love and the communication, and then having each other's goals and laying them out together and working together as one in the marriage, because that's what's going to help sustain the marriage, is being able to sit down, be goal oriented, be excited about the future, and keep things fun, keep things live and vibrant, because that's what really keeps the marriage strong. And having that bond together, is really important too, and others will be able to see and lead by positive example. Keep the marriage alive and strong, because that's what keeps it down through the years.
I would say, first to the lady, first of all, you really need to know yourself. You need to be comfortable in who you are. You need to find yourself first, and you need to be whole by yourself first. That means you're, and confidence, and sometimes it gets a little bit muddy, because some people think that if they're arrogant and it's all about, if you're confident, you don't have to talk about it. Just be confident in who you are. Just know who you are. Just know what you're looking for in life overall. Just know what you're about. So if you know your value and if you know your worth, you'll be fine. You'll be fine by yourself, so that when you'll be fine by yourself. So regardless if you're going to get married or not, if you're confident and you're fine and you're just satisfied with you being a whole person by yourself, then when the right person comes along, it will just be two coming as one. I know in math that doesn't work, but that's biblical and it's not literal, but yes, the two will become one. So basically the person that you're going to be with now is going to add to your life. You can't expect that the person is coming to fill that void. No, a lot of times that's the problem. A lot of girls are looking for people to fill a void. They may have not grown up with a dad, and so they're looking for that father figure. And so when somebody comes and they realize, and then they abuse them, and then they build them up, and then when they want to use them and leave, they tear them back down, and then so you have this dysfunctional person because they're still trying to know who they are. So I would say, ladies, please, 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 please know your worth. If you have to hang with some girls or find some friends who are going in the direction that you truly want to go into. If you're not strong right now, get into a group, find somebody positive. Latch onto somebody that is going somewhere. If you're going to stay around people that are not going anywhere, you're just going to remain right there, and your mindset is not going to change. So I know it's a very long explanation, but ladies, I'm just saying, be confident in who you are, so when the person comes, they will see that you know your value. And so they will also value that, and they will know that when they come to the table, they have to come right. They can't just come half-heartedly. And guys, it's just about making a decision. If you truly want to be with a lady, don't play games. I don't have time for games. A lot of people don't have time for games. Corey doesn't have time for games. Whenever you get to that point, just don't play games. Just make a decision and go forward. Make sure that you're communicating. You trust, you love, you respect. I think those are key foundational principles. And don't give ear to just anybody, because some people will not want you to be successful, and some people may not want the best for you. So be careful who you're listening to. Yeah, use wisdom, use good judgment, and again, once you make the decision, move forward and just keep on communicating. You're not gonna know everything
Yes,
along the way, but once you're both committed and you're moving in the right direction, it will work out.
If I were going to give advice, I would say it would be important to just kind of keep people out of your business. You know, that would be my number one thing. Keeping people out means parents, friends, best friends, cousins, nephews, Pookie and them, everybody. Because, you know, that's the only way that you can give that person a fair shot and say, okay, I like this person for who they are. They make me happy, and I feel like I can be with that person. So that's kind of my biggest thing is giving them a shot without any outside influences.
I agree with that too. That would have been some great advice for us to receive. You know, what advice would I give a married person or person wanting to get married or single people? That would have been some great advice I wish we had received, because it might have saved us 8 years of hardship to keep people out of your business. Even when you're having a bad day and you might be young, but don't run to mom and tell mom. Even if mom is usually who you run to, you can't run to mom. You got to run to that spouse and say, hey, we're having issues, you know, feeling a certain kind of way. You got to talk it out with that significant other, because at the end of the day, mom can't save you. Mom can't fix your relationship. Mom is only going to do this. Mom is going to get upset with your boyfriend or your fiance, and she's going to hold a grudge. And when y'all make up, mom's still looking a certain kind of way. Mom's still looking pissed. She's still like, oh, but what about what you said he had did to you, Lil Shay Shay? And that time, Lil Shay Shay over with. She's done with it. She's back with her man, and mom's still mad. Friends still mad. Everybody else is like, oh, you better watch him. Oh, what about what the time he did this or that? So it's just a hard thing when you have other people in your business. Another thing I would say is don't rush it. You know, don't say, oh, we've been dating for 6 months. It's time for you to make a commitment to me. Because I've got friends that do that. They want to make the guy, you know, commit to something. But in actuality, it hasn't been long enough. If he's not ready to commit, then it has not been long enough. You don't want to rush that.
Right.
Just because of some inner time clock or some time you have in your mind, or because of your age or because of whatever, you know, you want to have a baby, so now you want to rush this guy along so you can get to the marriage and the baby part. Like, you can't, that's not how life goes. Like, you have to give it time, and you have to make sure you know the person before you make a huge commitment like marriage, because it is a commitment, and you should not go into it with a short-term thinking. You have to go into it like, is this a person I want to spend the rest of my life with? That's a lot longer. That's a lot different than, is this person I want to marry? Marriage is spending the rest of your life with that person. And that in itself is a huge commitment that you really need to give a lot of thought to before you make that commitment.
One, I would say, do not let outside influence creep into your marriage. I'm talking family more than anything. Especially if a family member is miserable, they want to see you miserable, they'll do anything, they'll say whatever, and give you bad advice and to mess your marriage up. So me and Vicky, we don't discuss, unless it's like a real big problem, she'll probably, you know, tell her moms or whatever, but majority of the time, we just keep everything in house. We work things out between us, and don't let outside influences detract you from a happy home.
What they need to look out for.
outside.
Okay. I would say is when your spouse stop talking, stop being close or lovable, then that's time for a conversation, because you need to figure out what is the problem before it blow up. So always start talking, especially anytime there's an issue, talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, you're never going to resolve it. And if you don't resolve it, the marriage is not going to last. So if there is an issue, discuss what the problem is and be true with your feelings. When you start to talk about it, don't hold back. You got to lay it out there. You can't be scared to lay it out there. You got to just put it out there. What the problem is, whether it's going to hurt their feeling or not, you got to let them know, I don't like it when, or you said this and that made me feel like this. If you never do that, then every time it happens, it's just going to build up inside of you. The problem going to get bigger and bigger, and then it's going to, either you or your spouse is going to explode to the point where y'all don't want to get back. And a lot of times we let small things become big things. And if we deal with the small things when they come, then they wouldn't blow up. So I would say communicate. Don't be afraid to lay, talk about it. Don't be afraid to lay it out there. This is the person that you married. You should be able to say anything. And y'all still not, y'all shouldn't grow apart because you telling your true feelings. This is the one person you should always be able to tell exactly how you feel and not have to step on eggshells. You shouldn't have to step on eggshells around your spouse. So, again, I agree with what my husband said about allowing outsiders interfere in your marriage or have a say over what y'all doing in your marriage, in your home. Because, when people listen to outsiders, again, that's a problem that causes you to split from your husband, because you're listening to what somebody else saying versus what he's saying, and you're not listening again. So you're missing everything that he's telling you. He could be laying it out there, but this ear is over here listening to what this person is telling you, and now your emotions are attached to this person versus your spouse. So I would say make sure that you communicate, make sure you're considerate, and be true. Be true to yourself and your spouse.
This is to my fellas. Ladies, wives do not want a lazy husband. Finance, sometimes the wife, they might make more money than a husband, but as long as you're on your grind and she see you trying and you're not being lazy like this is laying around, she gonna have your back. But once you start like this, not wanting to work and want somebody to take care of you, your marriage is not gonna work.
Turn off.
It's not gonna work. Trust me. It's not gonna work. So let's stay on the grind and do work around the house. Cut the yard. Trim the hedges. Do a little something, and everything will be good. Everything is good. Yeah. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Yeah.
Wow, that is a great question. And I'm embarrassed to say no. We did not set goals prior to our marriage.
No?
Gosh.
It was, do you want to? Yeah, okay. That's it.
That was the only goal, was getting married. The crazy part is this: we got married, and Nick and I are both low-key people. Everybody that knows us knows this. So when he asked me to marry him, it was like, oh yeah. Not once in my mind did I think, I've got to have this huge wedding. It's got to be perfect. We've got to have, centerpieces and all this stuff. None of that went through my mind. Only thing I thought about, okay, how are we going to get this done? So we literally, we were both in college. He asked me on a Monday, what you doing Wednesday? What class you got? I said, I got computer at noon. He's like, okay, what you doing after that? I said, Nothing. He's like, where's some nice? Let's go down to the courthouse that day. He literally came to pick me up from class at noon. We drove down to the courthouse, got married in like 15 minutes, left there, went to Sears to take our wedding photo, like, and took me back to class. I mean, it was just like a regular day.
In my Easter suit.
We look good. That wedding photo is bomb. Y'all don't laugh at my wedding photo. But then it wasn't until his mom found out. Now, check this out. Everybody gets married, and I didn't know this, and he didn't either. It's a public record, right? You go down to the courthouse, you get married, it becomes a public record. They put it in a newspaper. It's like on the back page. So his uncle reads the newspaper cover to cover, obviously. He reads the newspaper under foreclosures. He read my people foreclosures, the different things on the back page. He runs across this wedding announcement or whatever for me and Nick, calls everybody in the family and tells them that me and Nick ran off and got married in secret. And his mom literally passed out. The ambulance had to come get her.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. And she had basically an anxiety attack, passed out. And by the time she came to or whatever, she was like, I just want y'all to have better than I had. I just want y'all to have a wedding. That's all I ever wanted. But that's how we ended up having a wedding. It's because his mom acted such a nut about it. We were fine just going to the courthouse because we wanted to move into an apartment together and we didn't want to do it unmarried. So as soon as we got married, we were like, now we can go get an apartment. That's what we were excited about, but everybody else wanted us to have a wedding, so we ended up having one.
What you said?
There was a list I had made, kind of mental list, some notes and different things. I can remember, I've become more goal-oriented, actually even coming into the marriage and even during the marriage. Prior to it, I just gave more thought. I wanted to have a place that we can settle down on and, climb, life, do business, have our business and things like that together. Wanted to do that and stuff. So we've been reaching some of those goals now and then looking at some further goals, even in the future. So definitely I did set a few goals and then become more of a focus on those goals in the marriage, as it kind of gives you that type of kind of a visual you can really see as things are starting to happen and events and life takes place and things like that. You start to see, okay, this is the goal I'm setting, I'm reaching, I'm getting closer to this goal here. So it's pretty exciting to see, as you get closer to some goals and reach some goals.
I think we had goals individually, and I think just knowing each other and just talking to each other, we somehow, I guess subconsciously, or we knew we were headed in the right direction. So we didn't have like set in stone goals, but we knew that we wanted excellence. We wanted to wanted operating excellence. And every day we're trying. I don't think he just achieved that, but we know we wanted to. We want to be financially secure, free. We want to have a family. We want to, always have families around us. I'm from a big family. He's from a smaller family. He has 2 brothers, and I have 6 sisters and a brother. So, and we both love our families. We both have the same kind of background, and he loves my family. I love his family, and we get along together. So, I guess together we're like, okay, we're gonna have excellence in every area of our marriage. So when it comes to children, we want to raise them right. When it comes to just living, we want to live right. We just want to operate in excellence.
Absolutely.
I guess so. I guess subconsciously before the marriage we had goals.
I didn't set goals. I didn't. But I knew what I didn't want to do. So I don't know if that's considered setting goals. I knew that I did not want a dysfunctional family. And I knew that I was going to do everything in my power to not have a dysfunctional family. I did not want baby dad over here, baby dad over there. I didn't want none of that. I knew that I wanted my soulmate, my spouse, to be, you know, the father of all my kids. Even though I had only planned for one, I got 3. And
There's
I'm so
nothing
grateful.
wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, but we talking about what I wanted.
Okay.
And she said, did we set goals? I didn't set any goals. I just knew what I did not want. And this is what I wanted for me. And this is the picture that I wanted to paint for my kids. I wanted them to see, you know, not saying that it can't be a big happy family with blended families and all that, but this is what I wanted them to have, their father in the home, growing up with them, with, you know, and staying together. That's what I pictured. Not that I set a goal, but I strived and I worked hard all through this marriage to ensure that this is what we got. Now, we can't predict the future. We know that. But through prayer, through the grace of God, putting him first, through communication, this is what we ended up with. And I'm so grateful that God blessed us, and I understand and I know that we got here through him, not through nothing that we've done, but through him and keeping him first.
Yeah, I didn't have any goals. I just enjoy life. And with my soulmate, and we still enjoy life after 25 years. And my kids, none of them went to jail, so that's a blessing. I mean, still time though. But.
No. We have one in the military, and we have 2 work for the Georgia Department of Corrections.
You never know. So I would never say.
I don't see that in their future.
I mean, I might go to jail.
No, I don't see that. What's this? What? We did good. This all. What?
I mean, but you just keep it
How you
real.
gonna go to jail?
But I'm just saying, you never know. Anybody catch a charge.
But you
know what
ain't
I'm
gonna
saying?
catch none. You
know.
just spoke.
Black lives-
God got you.
Black Lives Matter.
We all
But
related. We all
no.
related.
But it's a blessing though that all 3 of our children are doing good, and you know, me and her are still together.
3 songs I'd say, that could be a tough one. I think of a song that was a while back by Casey and JoJo, that We Can Be Happily Ever After. That's one. That's another song. And then there's a song, I Always Love You.
You stole
That's
my
the
song.
one. That's another one actually. Yeah, you know, Whitney Houston, definitely real big song there. And the lastly I'd say is there was a song I'm thinking of. I know I've heard it when I hear it again. Butterfly Kisses.
Oh.
I guess I can. It's like a song you typically might hear at a wedding. More so, you know, the father giving away his daughter and things. Because that can kind of put you in that marriage at a wedding type of scene, feeling, you know, put you in the mood of that particular moment when you say I do and the process that goes along with it. You know, so I think that's when I hear those. Not particularly, but a few songs, any love song really I can think of, but those are songs that I can say that really came to mind that stick out.
So 3 songs I hear or that I remember when I think about, 3 songs that remind me of Corey. One, Whitney Houston, and I Will Always Love You. He stole my song.
Yeah, it's everything you like.
Another one, Natalie Grant, I believe she's the one that sings that song. When God made you, he must have been thinking about me. I love that song so much,
that's
and I
another one,
always.
yeah, that's
And then, what's the other one? All My Life, I pray. This is a very old song. The millennials probably don't know it. All My Life, I pray for someone like you. I think that's Casey and JoJo too. It's so old, but that's a really nice song. I really like it. So yeah, those 3 songs make me think about you. And a lot more. I just can't remember all of them right now. I have some more groovy ones, but those are the 3 ones I can think of right now.
It's crazy because every time I hear a Luther song, I don't even remember which one it was.
House is not a home.
House is not a home, but it don't even matter now. It's all Luther songs. that was our first dance at our wedding, and that definitely reminds me of our wedding day, our first dance as a married couple. So that one definitely stands out.
And this is totally different, but every time I hear the T.I. song Motivation, that is what I think about our marriage, because we are constantly on the grind, constantly, and that song, we can both work out so good to that song because we feel it in our bones. That is our anthem, Motivation. That's our anthem for life, so that's definitely one for me.
I already gave you mine.
So now I got to think of a third one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my thing is anything Bruno Mars, because I just love Bruno Mars. But I think we both feel happy when we hear that song. So we can dance around the kitchen, us and the kids too. Anything Bruno Mars, we all into it. We trying to make a video with it. We thought we was Bruno Mars crew, so we just love happy music. We can play it on Saturday morning, dance around while we cleaning up the house, and just have a good time. So.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I know the song you're gonna sing. My wife.
Oh yeah, we used to dance to that all the time.
Tell them what it is. The song that
Who sings that?
the song that
Yeah, my wifey. Huh? I don't know how to sing.
what's the name of it?
Well, a lot of them think, I go back to when we first was talking, like Slick Rick, Children's Story. She used to clown in the club. She used to clown at the
I could
Grease Light.
dance back then.
Slick Rick, Children's Story.
Yes. Sierra Club was on. Let me tell you.
It Takes Two to make a thing go
That was
right.
our song. That was our fast song. It Takes
Yeah.
Two. Cause that song come on, we lose our mind. We going
Yeah.
to the dance floor, honey. We finna cut the rug.
And the third one I used to hit when I was at work is the Surface. Only You Make Me Happy. I used to love that song, thinking about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get your own.
Hey, well, the song. I have one that speaks of our marriage and our family, and that's my gospel song. Never would have made it without you.
Oh, I love that.
And when that song comes on, I get teary eyed a lot of time because I know where we came from
Yeah.
to where we are. I know what our struggles were. I know how many times we done struggled. I'm talking about with cars, living in these apartments, being broken into, struggling when I got pregnant with the twins, and I had to go see a specialist. Through the different jobs, and where we are today. I'm 5 years out from retirement. My husband has retired from the military, and I know without him we never would have made it and still
that
been
song.
together.
Yeah.
So
That's a good
as
song.
far as the song that reminds me of the marriage and where we've been and where we come from, and that would be Never Would Have Made It Without You.
Oh, and Endless Love by the Commodores.
Endless love.
Yeah, yeah. So,
You got
I start
some?
crying about that. I be crying.
Tell a song that you said that you used to tell them the song when you was in, I think you was in Germany, and when we went together, every time you said, you used to cry. My husband cried because I went with him. What song was that? Do you remember?
I don't remember afterwards.
I don't remember, of course, but he
There was
had
a
a
couple of
song
songs
that,
I would-
made him think of me. Well, he could have lost.
Well, I guess that's when you broke up with me, so I guess that wouldn't count. Turned away. A Chucky book. I used to cry with that one. And I know we just going on and on.
But yeah, that's mine. Never would have made it. He
Yeah.
got several. So,
I do.
but I do remember It Takes Two when we were just dating, and that was our song. Honey. We used to go on dance floor and turn that out.
Yes, we used to have a good time.
Because
Still
it
have a
takes
good
two.
time.
Yes.
Everywhere we go. That's crazy though. Everywhere we go, people like us around because we showed them a good,
Because he crazy.
we always like to have a good time.
He can't move the way he used to move now because he be hurt something. But
Yeah, I'm a disabled vet.
he tried to cut a little bit. He can't do what he used to do. Knees.
These won't do it.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
You got one job.
He's a little bored.
One job.
My son.
Something. Do it again.